In the year 1999, a movie pretty much recaptivated the word suspense, and that movie was The Sixth Sense, starring Bruce Willis. This movie had pretty much wowed people when they first saw it. The film was also nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It is the film that also been credited of giving M. Night Shyamalan his big break. If this film still holds up today, yes, it does. Um, did I felt when I first heard about this movie? Did I jump to the theaters to see it? No. In fact, I saw this right after it went on video, and that's largely because a lot of my friends were saying, "Yo, you got to see this. The ending is crazy. The ending will surprise you. It will shock you," and it must have shocked a lot of people because a lot of people who I know saw this film multiple times. This movie had generated over $600 million, close to the $700 million mark, and the film, for the most part, has really sparked a new interest of making horror films. That was not really horror film; was more psychological um, thrillers. Last time I spoke about this was The Others that actually followed through that same pattern that The Sixth Sense had. Um, I will say this about the film. I did like the movie. Don't get me wrong, I did like the movie. But when I was thinking about this film, especially from the very beginning, because the very beginning pretty much sets up an awkward pace for this movie, because it's not really the first act, but the prelogue leading to the first act, the introduction, if you want to call it, where you are meeting Bruce Willis and his wife character, which is played very good by Wilbur Williams, Malcolm Malcolm Crowe and his wife Anna Crowe. Pretty much you're seeing how they live with each other, how they interact, and then something strange happened. It started with a scene that I think people remember. It was a scene where the wife Olivia was in the basement, and for reasons was never explained, was never brought up again, ran out the basement. Now, one may feel that she felt something that didn't make her very comfortable, that forced her to run, or there was a presence there that she was not aware of. But anyhow, it was never brought up again, and the story just went from there. At that fateful night, a mental patient that which Malcolm was caring for broke in and basically shot him and shot himself. And then the film faded to black, and then we had pretty much a year later where we're like, wait a minute, something's not right here. What happened in between? Why would he do that? But it started a year later where Malcolm begins to work with another child, with another person, child this time co-star, and this is where the film story truly begins. Cole is seeing things he's not supposed to see. He's seeing people who are no longer alive, and despite his frustration with this, he's relying on Malcolm to try to help him with his problems. Malcolm, of course, doesn't believe him. He even records his sessions, even thinking he may have to be put in a mental institution. But things started to come to light that where Malcolm now started to believe him to the point where he wants to help him figure out. In fact, in the end, he did help him figure out in a very uncomfortable scene, a scene where a young girl died, and the ghost of that young girl came back to one of our main characters and gave her the evidence of how she died. Needless to say, it was not pretty, and the fact that how she ended up being where she was even more disgusting and more tragic than what it come out to be. Needless to say, the film story pretty much led to a build-up phase, and it led right towards the very end when it was revealed about what really happened that fateful night to Malcolm, which pretty much played well in the film. So when I saw that ending, I said, "Oh, yeah, this is shocking. This is surprising." But I have to tell you, when I thought about it, when I saw this film again, I began to realize that it wasn't that much big a reveal as M. Night Shyamalan have led us to believe. Now, again, I said I like this movie. Don't go crazy. Don't rip me apart. But there was times, and I mentioned this briefly in my last review of The Others, that M. Night Shyamalan did his best to ruin the ending. He really did his best. Granted, I still was puzzled of the introduction of this movie. I didn't understand why he chose to show the scene that he was not no intention of coming back to, which he did. He came full circle, which I'm kind of glad he did, and explained what truly happened. But he gave hints and clues all over the place that really, for the better or worse, you really, unless you wasn't really paying full attention, you wouldn't catch it. But he did give hints. One of the biggest hints is that famous line that was actually parodied from Scream, "I see dead people. They don't even know that they're dead," which should have gave me the hint that, wait a minute, if he's saying this, then it's maybe possible that the person who's supposed to help him is also dead. But then again, he did enough where I tell you little tidbits distractions that kept me from not actually putting the pieces together. One of them is how he was trying to interact with his wife. His wife pretty much ignored him, seemed like their marriage was falling apart. You can see she was sad, but you was basically didn't know why she was sad. And then the kind of question is why she's upset with him. He just survived a gunshot wound. Why is he upset with him? 1 year later, even with the fact that he's visiting her in the restaurants, he's sitting down, and this was something that was brought even in the behind the scenes of he's talking to her. You don't see really her maintaining eye contact, but when she left, she said happy anniversary and just left. So you're pretty much assuming that everything is alright. Even the scene where he's sitting down next to the mother, you assumed already, okay, the son is coming in, that she had talked to him. But in fact, she didn't talk to him, and that was the whole point. And he did it so cleverly where you didn't pick that up. You just assumed that, okay, the boy walked in, she had talked to them, and now they're just sitting quietly waiting for them to come. You didn't realize that was the throw off, and that's what M. Night Shyamalan was actually good at. He was good. He had a stronger throw off where, yeah, he's hinting something, but he's giving us enough where we say, okay, I'm gonna hint this, but I'm gonna give you this to throw you back off the trail, and that's what he did well with this movie. Overall, the acting in this movie was very, very good. I thought this was one of Bruce Willis' better films in terms of dramatic. He hadn't done something like this in I believe a while. I was so used to seeing him doing action type films that when I saw him do this film that was more dramatic, it was kind of a refreshing feeling because he is a good actor given the right script and if he cares. Lately, there's been a lot of movies that he's done that really show that he's really mailing it in, but in this one, he wasn't mailing it in, and he really gave the young up-and-coming actor at the time, Osmond, he really helped him out a lot because, like I said, I was not all jumping in the Kool-Aid with his performance. I really wasn't. He was good enough, but I also felt that he was also good when Bruce Willis better when Bruce Willis was with him. So Bruce Willis pretty much healed all the weaknesses that I had with him when I first saw him on screen. But for the most part, the acting was pretty good. The storyline was good. I actually thought the storyline was good. It had a good it had a weird start, but but after that it pretty much stayed focused on tack. And like I said, M. Night Shyamalan went full circle in this movie where it actually pulled all the pieces together. The pacing, steady. I don't have a problem with the pacing too much. There were some areas where I thought it was slowed down a little bit, but in the most part it stayed focused. The music is forgettable. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't remember anything about the theme song. I think the theme song at the ending where he was revealed what happened to Malcolm had a more staying power with me than anything else in this entire film. So, sorry, guys, if you felt the music was great. I just didn't felt the score was strong enough for me to give it a good recommendation. Again, if I had any real true beef with this film, I will say it's because of the fact is that M. Night Shyamalan pretty much did his best to almost ruin this film. Again, he gave a little bit too many hints first of all, when I saw it the first time, I just wanted to see it. When I saw it again, and when I actually sat down and thought about it, I really realized, oh, he did tell us what happened. We just didn't pay much attention to all the little pieces that he left out there, all the hints that he left out there. And even to his credit, he even admitted that he gave a little bit too much than what he should have, but a lot of people didn't notice it. As for this film being nominated for the Academy Award, honestly, I don't know if this is a Best Picture quality movie. I really don't. I think it's for the actors, Bruce Willis. Yeah, I think he deserves it. I think that definitely he deserves it. Best Director, maybe, but Best Picture, I don't know. I just don't see it. Was it suspenseful in some areas? Yeah, it was. I actually liked some of the suspense it had. I think the intensity in the third act when the dead girl came to the boy and gave him the box containing the evidence, the tape, that caught me a little bit off guard. But there was not too many jump scares that I could have, and that's largely because of one of my biggest problems with this film. And I think I'm not the only one that felt this way, because I think that a lot of people did have a big beef. When it comes to the suspense, you don't want to let people know too much that something big is coming. I'm Shyamalan did this a lot with the Phenomenon. As you know, he had this reason for, I don't know why he felt this was a good idea, but to turn back the thermometer to make you know that the ghost is in the room, because as you all know, ghosts don't have no blood, no temperature, so their presence is always going to be cold. You didn't need to turn the phenomena back to know that. I think that him breathing and him walking around and having that area of silence could actually give us an idea of what we are in store with, and that was the biggest thing I had a problem with. It's like he was trying too much to let us know the ghost was coming or something scary was happening. You don't need to give us those tags. I think by you giving us the images and let the actors do their thing and let the environment that you put them there do their thing will work just as fine as you just turning a phenomena just to give us a hint or a clue. That was something that I always had a gripe with that film. But you know, that's pretty much just about it. Again, Bruce Willis, Harry John Osmond's debut performance was fine. Oliver Williams was fine. I thought everybody in this movie did their job well. I thought they did their job very, very well, and it really set the stage for M. Night Shyamalan's work. Again, some of the things that I had a problem with are very minute. I thought the overall it did deserve the high praise that it got. It definitely deserved the millions of dollars that it's gotten. And like I said, for M. Night Shyamalan's third film, and yes, I say third because a lot of people say thinking that this was his first movie, when in reality it's only his third. I believe Wide Awake was his second, and I believe the first one hardly even got any recognition at all. Can't get the name of that. I'm trying to get it in my head. But it was definitely his third film and probably one of his best successful film. The only other film that actually had a bigger success, surprisingly enough, was Signs. Signs is the second biggest highly rated film. I know the critic don't like to hear it, but it is a well received film by a lot of people. Will I review it in later down the road? I probably would, but to me, Sixth Sense is definitely his equilibrium in terms of, or when I say his big start coming to it. Playing with Anger was actually his first film. That is the film that he had done. He actually had a acting role in there as well. But Playing with Role, Wide Awake, and then his big break with Sixth Sense. This film is 3 stars out of 4. I was actually contemplating whether it deserved 3.5, but like I said, it's one of those films where when I saw it, I kept an open mind, but it was just some things that it just like, okay, it's good, but it ain't nothing that I'm gonna cry over, spill markup over. But I will give it credit though. It really brought back old school horror storytelling in a way that I actually like, actually more than some of the stupid bloody guts horror films that had no substance whatsoever. So, and this one does have substance, and it does have staying power. So that's my feeling on the one and only Sixth Sense. You may disagree with it. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Keep it in the comment section below. Until then, it's J77 saying take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.